This question is more than just a throwaway opener for most interviews. The single most important strategy in a job interview is selling what the buyer is buying. Remember to tell them about your current position, and then provide the most important or relevant details that make you most qualified for the role. At present, I service the assistant and many executive team members, including the CEO. In my 12 years of experience as an executive assistant, I developed the ability to expect barriers and create effective alternate plans. My greatest value is my ability to work independently, allowing my employer to take care of the needs of the business. I make sure that every day has a crystal clear plan that is clearly communicated. Interviewers are looking for information about how your characteristics align with the skills needed to succeed in a role. Before your interview, spend some time researching the company's background and mission. This will give you an idea of what they are looking for and how you should act during the interview. You should try to include measurable results to show how you use your skills to draw success. I'm attentive, preemptive, and dedicated to ensuring a safe, secure, and well-ordered environment. For my last incident response rating, I achieved a 99% against the team average, which has been at around 97% for the past 4 years. I pride myself on being methodical. I also believe in continuous development, constantly looking for the latest security equipment and techniques to patrol buildings. I frequently make suggestions to management about ways to improve security in order to make a meaningful contribution. Employers may ask you why you might be more qualified than other candidates. To answer, focus on why hiring you would benefit the employer. You should address each of the requirements listed in the job posting, as well as any additional qualities that make you a great fit. Try to emphasize why your background makes you a good candidate. This will help the employers know why your qualities and qualification make you more prepared. My experience of having spent 4 years in retail makes me unique. I've had experience handling shoppers' questions, feedback, and concerns. I know what they want and what it takes to create a positive customer experience. I can bring along my vast experience in sales, which would benefit the department as a whole. Employers want to hire someone who cares about their career and has thought about their career path and future. They want to know whether you took the time to research their company and why you see yourself as the best candidate. The best way to prepare is to do your homework. In your answer, mention what you like about their company and connect it to your goals. The company's mission to help college grads pay off student loans really impresses me. As a graduate, I'd love the chance to work with a company that's giving back to society. Working in a company with a positive work environment and values really appeal to me, and that's one of the main things I look forward to working with you. The employer wants to find out whether you understand how pressure affects you and how you can deal with a range of stressful situations, whether these are personal or work-related. This will give them an idea of your ability to solve problems and complete tasks. To make your answer believable, you need to provide specific examples of how you've handled stress in the past. You might also provide examples that demonstrate personal development. I try to react to situations rather than to stress. That way, it helps me to focus more on the bigger picture and the task at hand. From there, I can rank the tasks that needed to be done with a reasonable deadline. Before I know it, I've made significant progress, and that impossible project doesn't seem so impossible. The interviewer wants to discover how you can help and what you'll be able to accomplish if you were to be hired. To give a strong answer, you must identify the company's specific needs, and then respond by giving examples as to why your education, skills, accomplishments, and experience will make you an asset for the employer by fulfilling those needs. My problem-solving abilities allow me to work extremely well under pressure, which I understand is a common occurrence in this role. I once had 3 large projects due in the same week, and that was a lot of pressure. However, because I created a schedule that detailed how I would break down each project into small assignments, I managed to complete all 3 projects ahead of time. The interviewer wants to get a better understanding of how your background and work experience are relevant to their expectations for the position. The best answers clearly present the experiences on your resume in terms of how they prepare you for this position's responsibilities. Be sure to describe your responsibilities and accomplishments in detail, and connect them to the job for which you are applying. For more than 5 years, I have developed extensive skills working with irate customers. I'm excellent at de-escalating situations and finding a way to provide a great customer experience. My latest customer satisfaction rating rose 20% during my tenure with my previous employer. Since the role of your marketing department is to improve customers' impressions of the company, my experience would be a great asset to your team. Interviewers ask this question to know whether they can afford you. The secret is to get the interviewer talking about what is willing to pay, before you reveal what you're willing to accept. Handle it wrong and you can blow the job over or go to work at a far less than you might have gotten. Be sure to let the interviewer know if you're flexible with your rate. I believe the company has already established a salary range for this position. May I know what that is? With my 11 years of experience as a sales professional, I am flexible in exploring a salary that acknowledges both my work history and the demands of the position. I feel that $7,000 to $10,000 would make a good starting point for our discussions. The interviewer wants to know your work ethic and goals. How you define success determines how hard you're willing to work to meet goals, and how well you will fit in with their company's culture. The key is to give a well-accepted definition of success that leads right into your list of achievements. Cite specific examples of your successes, and explain the factors that contributed to your achievements. It gives the impression that you know how to define and measure goals. The best definition I've come across is that success is a product of a continued effort, with a burning determination. In my previous company, I welcomed new projects and embraced every opportunity to learn. Along the way, I improved my skill set, ultimately allowing me to exceed my sales goals by 25%. The interviewer is trying to figure out who exactly can influence you. Who inspires you as an individual is directly related to your goal orientation, perseverance, and ambition levels. You must tailor your answer to the traits required in the position you're applying. The person who has inspired me the most has been my mother. She always tells me to be the most hardworking and upright person in a group. No matter how tough the situation is, she always shows grace under pressure. She was well respected and always gave more than she received. I try to live like she did, as much as I can. When interviewers ask about your achievement, they are interested in learning about your work ethics, core values, and accomplishments. Your choice of past performance and how you handle specific situations will help the interviewer understand what you consider important. Your answer should show that your skills are transferable and relevant to the role. My greatest achievement in my professional career was turning a loss-making company into a profit-earning entity. Back then, the entire company and the employees were struggling. My greatest achievement in my professional career was turning a loss-making company into a profit-earning entity. Back then, the entire company and the employees were struggling to achieve even their monthly goals. When I was hired, I was asked to suggest a new strategic plan. I came up with a new plan and implemented it without any delay. Within a year, we achieved 20% above our goals, and also, we were able to earn additional revenues. Your interviewer wants to know if you have what it takes to help lead a team or an organization into the future. Leadership refers not only to managing others but also setting a good example for your co-workers. They want to really see if you've developed a style that works for you, and they want to see that you can describe it clearly. Be ready to get specific, and don't give vague responses. There is power in inspiring and motivating people to unleash their full potential. I want to be proactive about how I can help the team members regarding a certain task. I find coach-style leadership perfect for a training manager because my goal is to increase the overall work performance at the individual level. The interviewer wants to know if you have any past obstacles and regrets that may impact your work with their company. It is important to keep things on a positive note and give examples of how you have grown from past situations. The best approach is to know how to spin your answer so you can demonstrate how you've reflected and learned from past experiences. If I look at it from a personal perspective, certainly I have moments that I could have done it differently. Like pursuing a postgraduate study abroad. But overall, I'm pleased with the direction I went in and the things that have happened in my career and my personal life. I'm always the type of person who keeps on pressing forward and learning from my mistakes when they occur. The interviewer wants to see whether you're naturally comfortable working with a team and on your own. Your answer can provide insight into your preferences. It's all about establishing whether you're a team player or a lone wolf. Employers will be looking for candidates whose personalities best fit a certain role. In other instances, where jobs require more independent work, employers will likely want to hire a candidate whose personality is more suited to working on their own. Consider planning out your response to this question while doing your job research. My past experience taught me to spend equal amounts of time collaborating with my team and completing tasks independently. I have no issues working long hours on my own to ensure that I achieve more. But when the opportunity arises, I'm also very accustomed to working as part of a team too. The interviewer wants to check whether you are a job hopper who's likely to leave their company in a matter of months, or someone who will stick around and align yourself with the company's mission. Your answer will help them understand what's important to you in a job and how you leave situations on good terms. Never badmouth your previous company, for it will only reflect so much about your personality. I've had a great time working at a previous company for 5 years. It is a great place to work at, especially for starters, but when I saw your offer, I had to take the opportunity. It is time for me to take on a new challenge and join a bigger team. If I may add, I left on good terms with my former employer as he is one of my references. This trick question will help the interviewer uncover your weakness and check if you are prepared for the interview. If you answer it nicely, this question can allow you to shine. The strategy to win this question is to use your answer as a chance to highlight your strength, wrapped up as a weakness. Mention a weakness that is seen as a strength in the employer's perspective. You shouldn't hire me if you are looking for someone who isn't detail-oriented. In my case, I really give undivided attention to every project I make. In that way, I can catch and correct errors and produce quality output. This type of question is commonly asked during sales job interviews. How you answer this question tells a lot about how you make decisions and how you perform under pressure. At first glance, I bet you think this pen is just like any other pen you see. But little did you know, this pen has a special voice recorder feature that can store a 120 hours file with 6 hours of battery life. With its comfortable grip and professional-looking design, people will never suspect it's a voice recorder. You can purchase this one today with a 20% discount plus a 1-year warranty. Employers ask this behavioral question in job interviews, simply because they want to find out what you consider as a difficult decision or situation, and how you're able to handle it. Answer in a manner that doesn't paint you as the victim in the situation. Be prepared to with a good example, explanations, process, and beneficial results. The most difficult decision I've had to make was offering a separation pay to my staff. The circumstances of the business had changed, especially during the pandemic. It was difficult for the company to keep everyone's job. We see the need to let go of some people, which I then based on the length of service and performance. Nobody wants to lose a job in the middle of a pandemic, but in situations like that, layoffs were inevitable when the business took an unexpected turn. Savvy interviewers will sometimes ask applicants if they feel they are overqualified for the job they are applying for. This is a way to probe candidates on their contention that they'll stick with the company even if they're overqualified for the role. The trick is to demonstrate a professional work history of sticking with the previous company. To answer, point out how long you were at your last job, and say that what matters to you is fitting in and learning. While it might appear on paper that I am overqualified, this opportunity is very attractive to me. I really believe that I'm perfectly qualified. You can rest assured that I will dedicate the same amount of time and effort to this position as I would dedicate to my previous company. Plus, I really your corporation and heard great things about your training program, which I feel there's much to learn. This question helps the interviewer gain crucial insight into how you react in specific circumstances on the job. Your responses should demonstrate how you will handle real-life scenarios you may encounter in the workplace. Your answer will speak volumes about your character. Essentially, the interview is trying to get a better idea about what kind of person you are, and better understand your thought process. The way I understand it, age is just a number. I am definitely going to respect anyone no matter how young my supervisor is. Likewise, no other quality or personal attribute will affect my ability to follow instructions. This is an eliminator question. Interviewers want to know why you're leaving, so they can learn more about what's important to you in a job and how you handle undesirable situations. Keep things positive. You have nothing to gain by being negative about your current employer. I'm ready for the next challenge in my career. When I saw your job posting, I took it as a sign. I loved the people I worked with and the projects I worked on, but at some point, I realized I wasn't being challenged the way I used to be. Rather than let myself get too comfortable, I decided to pursue a position where I can continue to grow. There is an intention of leading you into revealing deeper and more meaningful flaws and getting a sense of your character and personality by listening to your tone of voice when responding to this uncomfortable interview question. Another reason why interviewers ask this question is to assess if your work approach, attitude, and work ethic. Therefore, use this opportunity to play into the situation by giving your story a positive angle. If you give this question some thought before the interview, and you can discuss a situation right away, this shows the interviewer that you take the interview seriously and that you have self-knowledge, and that you're self-aware. I am very detail-oriented and not comfortable with settling with the bare minimum. I thrive on challenges and constantly set goals for myself, so I have something to strive toward. I don't start my work day without a plan. This is the reason why I feel like other people might see it as a threat or perfectionist. This question is sometimes asked by hiring managers to assess both your motivations and any internal connections you may have. Another reason is for them to know which of their candidate attraction strategies are delivering the best results. Don't be easily tricked by this innocent question. This is also a way to probe your rationale for choosing this particular role and company. They will know if you have a genuine interest or just desperately scouring all of the job boards, corporate career pages of every company, and haphazardly dispatching your resume everywhere. Christy Sampson, who works in your marketing department, referred me for this role. She was my supervisor before at ABC Company and we stayed in touch after she left. We had worked together on a cross-department project and I had always admired her skills. When she told me that this role opened up and asked if I'm interested, I immediately said yes. Skills and experience are very important to employers, but they need to know what sort of person they could be working with. In order to know you a little bit better, interviews will sometimes ask about your hobbies and interests outside work. This is to find out what you're passionate about. Let your personality shine, but keep it professional. Thanks for asking. During my spare time, I really enjoy listening to podcasts while cooking and eating. I also attend yoga classes to ease stress and promote relaxation. It's a great way to start or end my day. This question might make you uncomfortable, but you can think of it as an opportunity to allow the interview to get to know you better and to position yourself as an excellent choice for this job. The recruiter is trying to assess your past achievements and determine whether you will be driven to achieve such results in the future. Your response is also a good indicator of how humble you are or aren't. This question also allows the recruiter to understand how you define success and what milestones in your career you consider important. The best way to approach the question is to give a philosophical answer. I define success as being your best self, and for that, I honestly think I am successful. Looking back, I've faced a lot of setbacks, but I always managed to get through it and come out as a better version of myself. That alone, success on its own. But of course, I consider myself to be successful in other areas of my life too. Being able to achieve the highest sales record in my previous company during my first year was a total success. If you think about answering with a flat no, it's like slamming the front door shut on this opportunity. You need to find out first where you may have to relocate and how much travel is involved before you answer. If you think there is no problem, say so enthusiastically. If you think it will be okay for you to move under certain conditions, you have to express those conditions clearly before saying yes. I would like to explore the opportunity to relocate, and I feel I could provide great value in this role. Do you have specific details regarding the location? Employers want to know how you perform different kinds of duties, adjust to changes in your routine, and maintain composure and productivity, despite any changes that may happen in the workplace. It's an opportunity for you to communicate your problem-solving and critical thinking abilities, along with your aptitude for succeeding under unexpected circumstances. I consider myself open and receptive to change. After all changes and challenges I went through, I realized that change is what makes life interesting. When the company was badly hit by the pandemic, a lot of my workmates were terminated. I was nervous about the changes that comes with it. After a time, through my strong leadership and interpersonal skills, I was able to adjust, excel and carry out tasks even if my department is outnumbered. Interviews not only ask this question to know how you think and operate, but also to get a quick idea of how you see yourself. 3 words are essentially your personal brand and should be a way to define your personality along with your professional side. Motivated, ambitious, and a leader. I tend to be very driven in my approach to life and work. With my unwavering determination to do well at my job, I was awarded as a top performer in the second quarter of 2020. My dedication has made me a team leader because I can anticipate problems and innovate solutions. Employers often include this question to identify what skills or qualities make you a better fit for the role than other candidates they might be interviewing. Provide the interview with insight into how you'd be the best candidate for a role, while proving you're someone who can think on her feet. My ability to organize things makes me unique. In my previous role as a supervisor, I came up with a plan to reorganize the office supply closet by category. Because items were easier to find, we placed fewer orders and saved 50% on office supplies year over year. Interviewers want to make sure you did some research before applying. They don't want someone who's applying randomly per day, without even looking or caring what type of job they get. Do your research and include specific facts you discovered on the company website, social media channels, news articles, and more. Keep your answer short and concise. It's better to name 2 facts that you know extremely well than to mention 5 or 6 facts that aren't 100% accurate. It is a known fact that your XYZ company is one of the top construction companies in the US. In fact, just recently the company was awarded as one of the best places to work in 2021. But what really caught my attention is the company's commitment to helping cancer patients through its foundation. Your commitment to save lives really impresses me. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell for more updates and for more upcoming videos. The interviewer wants to check that the job you're interviewing for matches up with the one you really want. Be careful that you don't imply that it's a temporary pit stop. To answer, put the emphasis on the challenges and type of work environment you are looking for rather than any specific job. This is an opportunity to show the interviewer that you're ambitious and forward-thinking. My dream job is to create life-changing innovative tech products. Ever since I was a kid, I'm fascinated with technology around me. I want to be involved in working on projects like the ones your company is working on, especially because I love working in places that put an emphasis on collaborative environments and teamwork. When asking this question, the interviewer isn't necessarily just looking for your latest self-centered triumph. They ask this question to find out more about your work style and your overall personality. Take this as an opportunity to share what's important to you in the workplace and the skills that you had to use to achieve it. Responding to this question allows you to showcase your talents and abilities while sharing a career experience that was both personal and valuable to you. The department I was in started out as a disappointment with low numbers and even lower morale. I was asked to lead a team, and we were able to effectively bring up our sales and boost the spirits of our company, turning last year into our biggest year since 2015. I was humbled to be asked to confidently lead the team and learned many things as a team leader. Asking future-focused questions during interviews is very common. For employers, this tactic helps reveal if you have any long-term visions or plans. This question is designed to find out if you're going to stick around or move on as soon as you find a better opportunity. They want to choose a candidate who is ambitious yet realistic about where the company can take them. You can give a more effective answer by learning more about the company's values and what their role entails. Keep your answer focused on the job and the company, and reiterate to the interviewer that the position aligns with your long-term goals. My career goal involves leading a finance team. I think that by learning the basics, ins and outs, I can prove that I am an excellent leader and can take on any challenges. One reason this job caught my interest is how much hands-on and supportive the management is through its training and seminars. That would ideally work my way to a management position. Hiring managers want to learn how you maintain your composure, attitude, energy, and focus when faced with failure. Apart from that, the hiring manager will also want to see if you can admit to failure and the lessons you have learned from it. Pick an instance in which you accepted your lack of success, owned it, got a lesson from it, and what did to ensure that it didn't occur again. I try not to dwell on my failures for too long. I see it as a lesson and a chance to do better. There was this incident where our client needed the project to be done the following week. I was overconfident, which led me to assure him that it would be completed within the week. Due to its complexity, which was never seen in the beginning, I was not able to deliver as promised. The client cancelled the project and took it somewhere else. From that experience, I learned how to manage expectations with careful consideration. When an interviewer asks you about your professional goals for the next 5 years, they do so to gain an understanding of a few different things. Like, if your goals match what the employer is able to offer, and if you'll stick around with the company for at least 5 years. In 5 years, I want to complete the training programs and seminars as stated on your website. I think it will be beneficial to fast-track my promotion and a great step in becoming a department head. The position seems like a great fit for my 5-year goal, based on what I saw in the job description. Asking about recent reads is a common question many interviewers will ask. The question is seen as a conversation starter. The interviewer wants to get to know you a little bit, and is curious about what kinds of books you read. Another purpose of this question could be to see how well read you are. I just finished The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I'm at a stage of my life right now where I really enjoy reading self-help books. Essentially, the book tells us the importance of the present moment. To stop dwelling over the past, or fretting about the future. Instead, be in the now, be present. The interviewer wants to know how you manage and handle problems on your own. By asking problem-solving questions, they will know if you are properly equipped to deal with challenges before making you a part of their team. Your answer will provide clues and reveal several competency areas. A simple, logical, and straightforward answer will do. I think of the problem as a puzzle that is needed to be solved. In my line of work as a customer service support, I always encounter problems that are needed to be fixed as soon as I take the call. First, I try to analyze the situation and not take things personally. Then, think of a better solution to help solve the issue. Working on a team is essential to almost every job. Interviewers want to know how well you work with other people, and if you will fit the company culture. Your goal when you answer this question is to help the interviewer see your value as an employee. I really enjoy working in a team, and I get along well with many different personalities. At my previous job, I created a system to use during meetings that gave everyone a chance to speak and pitch their ideas. Everyone felt that their opinions were heard and productivity was increased by 35%. The reason that the interviewer is asking the question is that they want you to evaluate yourself and your skills. The interviewer wants to know if you think there are any gaps in your experience or education. It's a simple question to answer, but one that requires a bit of thought before the interview. Some extra training on product development might be helpful. I think I understand the basics, but becoming familiar with your particular operating system would help me get better at it. The hiring managers would like to know if the candidate has a clear idea of the exact goals for the position. They want to see how you think about ramping up in your new role, how fast you'll complete the onboarding process, and the standards you hold yourself to, especially in a new environment. Within 30 days, I plan to get to know the people I'll be working with the most and to be comfortable with them. Within 60 days, I plan to have a solid understanding of the industry, the company, and the competitive landscape so that I can hold my own in any conversation about the company. Within 90 days, I plan to meet the goals that have been set for me. Applicants are often asked what date they are available to start work if they were to be hired. The interviewer wants to know when you'll be available to work. They'll likely be hoping that you're able to start sooner rather than later. The best response is to convey a willingness to start work as soon as possible. The employer will be thrilled with your flexibility, and it will help ensure a smooth transition to the new role. Should you decide to accept my application, if possible, I would like 2 weeks to leave my company and train my replacement. If this represents some difficulty, I can come in after work hours and start training. The interviewer will ask this question to check if you lack curiosity and engagement. Use the opportunity to ask questions. It's your last chance to make another good impression, and it's the interview's way of gauging your level of interest in the job. You may ask these questions. What's the culture like in the company? Based on the current team, what skills or traits are most important in order to excel in this role? What sort of development and/or learning opportunities does the company offer? This leadership question is a very common interview question to determine how well you fit the requirements of a role and how you will work with the rest of their team. Many employers look for natural leaders or candidates they see leadership potential in. They often ask questions to gauge a candidate's leadership skills during an interview. I play both roles very well as I approach each situation differently. There are times that I respond to what it needs from me. I enjoy leading projects that relate to my strengths, but I'm also happy to follow the lead of others who may be a better fit. This question seeks to understand what made you decide to seek another opportunity and leave your previous job. The hiring manager is trying to see if you have unrealistic expectations or problems with your past job. No at all. In fact, I was given the chance to contribute in a lot of different ways and worked with folks in a number of key departments, so I learned a great deal. When I was presented with the opportunity to take my career to a different level, I had to take the risk. To me, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Interviewer will try to understand your strategy for handling it positively and professionally. They want to know how well you'll fit in with other members of the department you're applying for. When you answer this question, emphasize the importance of collaboration and resolving problems professionally as a team. Assure your interviewer that you are a good listener who can accept opposing views without getting upset. You could also mention how conflict resolution should take place in a private space. Aim to provide an example if possible. I actively readjust my attitude during a conflict situation. This means that I strive to listen to the other person's point of view without becoming defensive. I take a collaborative approach to resolving conflict at work. For example, on at least 3 occasions, my colleague missed deadlines that pushed back our production schedule. After I discussed this with him, we found a way to improve the workflow system together and prevent that problem in the future.